Welcome to this week's Financial Tip Tuesday, where I'm going to review a large financial mistake that some people make, and I want to give you my thoughts and rationales that will hopefully help prevent you from making that same mistake. So, what is that large financial mistake? I think it is when people choose to buy permanent life insurance instead of buying term life insurance. So, let's review the difference between the two quickly. A term life insurance policy, you buy a set amount, let's say $1 million, over a set number of years. Could be 15, 20, 30 years. And if you pass away during that time frame, then the insurance will pay out. And if you do not pass away during that time frame, then the insurance does not pay out. I think it's very simple and straightforward, and it makes sense to a lot of people. The other option is a permanent life insurance policy. And that can go by a bunch of different names. Most commonly, probably you hear whole life insurance. It can be universal life insurance, universal variable, universal index life insurance, a lot of different names. And honestly, I think they do that just to try to confuse people. It's a lot more complicated than term insurance, has a lot more fees associated with it, a lot more rules. And so that is why I think for most people, term life insurance is the way to go. Obviously, everybody's situation is a little bit different. So you do have to do it by a case basis. So here are my 3 reasons why I think term life insurance is better than permanent life insurance. Number 1, it's a lot cheaper. So if you would take a permanent or whole life insurance policy, on average, term life insurance can be about 10 times cheaper than what you'd pay for the same type of coverage in a permanent life insurance policy. So let's say you'd have $1 million policy, and for example, if a permanent life insurance costs you $10,000 a year in premiums, a term life insurance policy is probably going to be under $1,000 or less, depending on what your health status is. And the other thing that really gets me angry is the life insurance agents that sell these life insurance policies. If they ever try to sell you one, ask them how much they're getting in commissions or how much they're getting paid, because obviously we don't know for sure how much they're getting paid, but from people that have worked in that industry and have switched out to other industries, a lot of them will say that they can get around 80%, if not more, of the first year's premium. So if they're selling you a permanent or whole life insurance policy and it's $10,000 a year in premiums, they might be getting $8,000 or more dollars just by selling that one insurance contract to you. And then consecutive years after the first year, they can potentially get 5 to 10% of those premiums year after year after year, which is an extra $500 to $1,000 potentially. And term life insurance is just so much cheaper, and it's just so much more simple to understand that I think that is why you should potentially consider term. Number 2, I don't think that you should mix investing and insurance and vice versa. So if you're going to buy life insurance, then buy life insurance. If you're going to invest, then invest your money. But mixing the two together makes things a lot more complicated. And the insurance companies try to sell you that, oh, you can have the best of both worlds. You can have your life insurance policy and you can invest inside of it. But the insurance companies are a business. They need to make a profit so they don't go bankrupt. And what are they going to do with those premiums? They're going to take it and invest it themselves, give you some of the money back, and then they're going to keep the rest for themselves. I think it'd be much better off for you to just take that extra premium and invest it yourself while buying the cheaper term life insurance. And number 3, you might not need life insurance your entire life. For most people, I think having term and that messy middle part of their life is the best option. You pay a cheaper premium to get it covered for a set number of years when you have dependents, when you are raising your kids, when your retirement savings are not there yet. But fast forward to when you're 50, 55, or 60, your kids are grown, they're out of the house, you have built up your retirement savings by quite a bit, then you might not need life insurance anymore. And so why not just self-insure and do it that way versus having a permanent life insurance policy that has a lot of extra fees, expenses, makes things more complicated when you could just invest that extra premium on your own. So those are my 3 different reasons why I think term is better than permanent life insurance. If you ever have someone trying to sell you permanent life insurance, I would ask them if they would be willing to share what their commission is. And then also ask them if they are a fiduciary, which means they have to look out for your best interests. And if they don't want to or can't answer those 2 questions, then I would highly recommend that you get a second opinion, preferably by someone who is a fiduciary, before you go ahead and buy that life insurance product. Hope that helps. And if you liked it, please feel free to like this video, subscribe so that more people can see it. And I hope everyone has a great week.